Good evening. Tonight we're going to talk about something that may be quietly reshaping American politics. Because the result of Tuesday Democratic primaries in Texas tells us anything, is that voters may be starting to reject a very modern political phenomenon. Congressional social media influencers, two of the most outspoken controversial Democratic members of Congress, Representative Jasmine Crockett and Representative Al Green, just suffered serious political setbacks. Crockett lost her Democratic primary for the United States Senate, and Congressman Al Green, who has served in Washington for more than 20 years, was forced into an unexpected runoff election after failing to secure a majority of the vote. And while defeat happens in politics, the deeper question is why. Over the last several years, something has changed in Washington, not just politically, but culturally. More and more members of the Congress appear to operate less like legislators and more like content creators. Heated committees exchange sharp one-liners, 30-second viral clips designed for social media. Moments engineered not necessarily to move legislation, but to generate views. Representative Jasmine Crockett became one of the most recognizable faces of that new political style. Her confrontations during the congressional hearings spread rapidly online. Millions of views, thousands of reposts, and rapidly growing national profile. But when Crockett attempted to convert that online notoriety into a statewide Senate campaign, Texas voters chose someone else. State Representative James Tallarico ultimately defeated Crockett in the Democratic primary. Political analysts say that the outcome may reflect a fundamental difference between national attention and statewide appeal. Texas is not a small political environment. Winning statewide requires a coalition building across cities, suburbs, and rural communities. It requires years of grassroots organizing. And critics inside Crockett's own party argue that her campaign focused too heavily on national politic branding rather than local organizing. Federal campaign filings also showed large spending of consultants, media strategy, and digital messaging. But political professionals familiar with Texas elections say that the infrastructure, county networks, volunteer operations, local organization often decide statewide races. And on Tuesday night, Democratic voters chose a candidate many saw as less confrontational and more focused on policy. After losing the primary, Crockett suggests Republicans' attack contributed to her defeat. But critics quickly pointed out something obviously. This was a Democratic primary. The voters making that decisions were Democrats. And when politicians lose elections and immediately blame the other party, some voters hear something else, avoiding accountability. Instead of asking the difficult question, did the campaign itself miss the mark? Congressman Al Green is also facing political turbulence. Green has represented Texas in Congress since 2005, but nationally, he has become best known for his repeated efforts to impeach President Donald Trump. Over the years, Green introduced multiple impeachment resolutions, sometimes even when Democratic leadership itself hesitated to pursue them. Green framed those efforts as a constitutional responsibility. Critics say that they often appeared more symbolic than strategic. Now, Green faces a younger challenger who argues that the district needs new leadership focused on local issues. And the fact that Green does not secure majority votes suggests some Democratic voters may agree. Step back for a moment, because this isn't about two politicians. It's about a broader shift in American political culture. Social media has fundamentally transformed how politicians communicate, and sometimes how they behave. In some cases, the incentive structure has changed. The reward is no longer necessarily passing legislation. The reward is attention, views, trending clips, followers. But voters may now be asking something very simple. What did you actually accomplish? What laws did you pass? What problems did you solve? And when those questions begin to matter more than social media popularity, the political landscape can shift very quickly. It may be too early to call this national trend, but the Texas primaries may hint at something important. Voters, whether in Texas or across the nation, may be growing tired of performative politics. They may be growing tired of politicians whose greatest influence exists online. Instead, they may be looking for leaders who can actually produce results, who can build coalition, and who can make tangible difference in their communities. If this shift is truly beginning, it could reshape the way campaigns are run across the country. For Jasmine Crockett, the Senate defeat is a major setback. For Al Green, the runoff election ahead may determine whether a 20-year congressional career continues. But the larger story may be about voters themselves, because voters ultimately decide what kind of politics they want. And right now, they may be sending a message. Those viral moments are not leadership. That social media influence is not the same thing as public service. And that may be, just maybe, Americans ready for politicians who spend less time performing on camera and more time doing their job they were elected to do. I'm Haley Ficuciello. Good night.